Stephen Howson, full-time Devils, Manchester United and City has ended. And it was 0-0, wasn't it? Can't say that we deserved anything other than that, to be honest. I thought we was quite poor. Quite poor. Fellaini's sending off, I don't think you can say was much of a turning point in the game, except that as soon as that happened, we definitely relinquished all of our ambitions to try and win the game and just to see it out with a point. And I thought there was a couple of anonymous performances tonight, but I think before the game I said I would take a draw, and we've got the draw, so I will take the draw. We haven't lost ground on City, which was very possible tonight. They obviously had to come for us and did come for us. It still puts it in our hands. I think us and City both now have a game in hand on Liverpool. They're a point off them, we're 2 points off them. We win our game in hand, we both go above Liverpool. If City don't capitalise in their next match, we go above them. These are the fine margins that we're dealing with on the running. I thought our chances of getting a victory here tonight were dealt a blow when Pogba didn't start, and they were dealt a blow with Rojo's injury last week. Not so much Zlatan, I don't think, although I think he probably would have played him. I thought our best opportunity to win tonight was to use the counter-attack, but we was overrunning midfield. The midfield trio of Carrick, Fellaini and Ander Herrera didn't really manage to impose itself on a game, and for all the criticisms Pogba has had this season, I actually think he would have provided at least 3 or 4 really key passes into dangerous areas in the channels behind the defence. Our best attacking threat was when Marcus Rashford was one-on-one with a City defender, and when he got the opportunity to go one-on-one with a City defender, he was doing what he wanted with him essentially, but no one was finding that pass to him. And I think with someone with a little bit more power and a little bit more build about them, somebody like Pogba would have made a huge difference tonight, and I think he definitely would have found... We didn't have a lot of the ball. We was never going to have a lot of the ball anyway, so it was always going to be a counter-attacking job. But I think that transitioning that counter-attack with someone like Paul Pogba being able to fire a ball off to Marcus Rashford in one of the channels, we might have seen United create a few more chances tonight. But we didn't. We didn't have we didn't have Paul Pogba, and we didn't create enough chances. I thought Mkhitaryan struggled to get into the game tonight. Same with Anthony Martial, and to a smaller extent, I think even Rashford struggled getting into that game. Jesse Lingard come on and didn't really manage to have much of an impact. Shocked to see Fosu-Mensah get in a game, but then the circumstances, who else was he going to bring on at that point? Arguably Wayne Rooney might have got the nod, but good for Timbo to get some minutes in a game of that magnitude. With Fellaini now facing a ban for... I'm going to talk about that in a second, but Fellaini facing a ban, he might be forced to use Timbo. With the injuries that we've got, like Louis van Gaal last season, Jose Mourinho might be forced to debut, or he's not going to be giving any new debuts out unless Willett gets a shout, but he might be forced to turn to some of the younger players, because I think we're probably going to rest or rotate, however you want to spin it, some players for the visit of Swansea on Sunday. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Tuanzebe moved up in the pecking order and Fosu-Mensah moved up in the pecking order, because I definitely think Jose Mourinho is going to be putting all of his eggs into the Europa League basket next week. That semi-final, that first leg of that semi-final is really going to tee up what happens. And I think if we go and get a good result against Celta Vigo, then, as he said in the quarterfinals, he might be able to rest and rotate in the second leg and get us through to the final. Once we're in the final, it's a one-off game in it, and then obviously you go for it once you're in there. I think at the moment, a little bit of rest and rotation and see what some of these youngsters can do. We still need to get a win against Swansea to keep this dream alive, because it's disastrous if United don't get Champions League next season. We then start to lose sponsorship money from Adidas, and the knock-on effects of all that would be huge in terms of who we can recruit, attract and pay for. Right, let's see what some of you lot are saying in the comments. A point earned, says Famdan. Do you know what? Yeah, let's talk about this with Aguero. Aguero did most of the walking over towards Fellaini. Fellaini's put his head down to him. Aguero's thrown himself into him, and then slung himself on the floor. Now, there's several parts to this. One, Fellaini shouldn't have put himself in a position to have allowed that shit to happen. It wasn't a second foul, so it was a dive from Aguero. It was 2 dives from Aguero, actually. But Fellaini gives the referee a decision to make by putting his head down towards him. Don't do that. I know you've got to stand your ground, but stay tall. Don't give the referee the opportunity to do something like that. Now, he did give the referee a decision to make. He has put his head down towards Aguero. Aguero was just despicable what he's done, to be honest. Absolutely despicable. But Fellaini should know better. In a game of this magnitude, he's done silly shit in previous games and picked up cards. So he should have known better than that. But yeah, I think Aguero was the instigator in that, in every sense. So pretty poor from the ref. The referee was a shocker from the off. Kompany was kicking lumps at United players all day long. But what I will say is thank you to the liner right at the death there with that Gabriel Jesus goal, because that was tight. Even on the initial replay, you're like, whoo, it was offside, but it was the correct decision. But sometimes the correct decision hasn't been given, hasn't it? So, fair enough. Yeah, I'll take my hat off a little bit to City. They came for it and they didn't get it. So, you know, sometimes you have to give a little bit of credit to United for managing to hold on. I do think that's a point earned. I thought Ander Herrera played well tonight, and I definitely think he is putting his arm up to say, give me that captain's armband when you get rid of everybody, which is clearly coming, isn't it, by next season. 24 games unbeaten. Again, it means nothing. The unbeaten doesn't mean nothing. If you win stuff, that's what the achievement is. It's not being unbeaten while you're winning it. Someone saying it was a headbutt all day, the Fellaini. It wasn't even a headbutt. I think you need to go walking around streets and start calling people names and see what headbutts really are. So yeah, I think it's a point gained. I'm relatively happy at getting a point. The top 4 is still doable, and I think we should still be trying to put ourselves into that as much as we possibly can. But yeah, it was a poor showing from United tonight. Not much else you can say about that, is it? I mean, you can't really kick off about it because, like I said before kick-off, I definitely would have took a point pre-match. We did get the point. There you go. Yeah, there you go. People in the comments here saying, I can't believe we didn't deserve that and it was 0-0. Well, do you know what? How many of them have we seen at Old Trafford where we've battered a team and come away with a point? There you go. I'll take that away point, like all of those teams that come to Old Trafford this season have took it. But yeah, I think Fellaini should have known better. Don't put yourself in a position where that sort of thing can happen. The refs was terrible. Ander Herrera's chance at the end of the first half, he just didn't get anything on it to send it back the other way. Yeah, we wasn't full strength, but ultimately, you know, how often do you play a football match in perfect conditions with everybody available? It doesn't happen like that. That's why it's a squad game, and that's why you want to see more rotation right the way through a season, so you've got players that are ready to step in when they're required. Rashford injury. I don't know anything about an injury. I didn't even. Some people in the comments here saying Fosu Mensah was holding his shoulder at the end. Didn't see that. So again, yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens and what they say. Is it risky that we're putting all our eggs in Europa League? I'm not sure if we are putting all our eggs in. Like I said, if we win our game in hand, we are in the top 4. So ultimately, we're okay. Aske says it was the wrong approach from Mourinho. What do you think you could have done different with that team, do you think? I mean, like, seriously, I'm going to go here. I'm just asking, how do you think we could have played it different? Did we go to park the bus? Because I think for the first half an hour at least, we actually did try and attack them. I thought Paul Pogba was a massive miss. I thought someone with the authority and confidence in midfield to grab it would have been sound. I don't know. Ultimately, it's disappointing with the performance. content, I suppose. I'm not happy, but I'm content with the result. Someone saying why Joe Riley not Darmian, he's injured. We've got a lot of injuries at the moment, haven't we? It's one of those, isn't it? It wasn't our day today, but we didn't lose. City didn't gain a load of ground on us, or any ground, in fact. So, not a bad day at the office, all told, with the result at the end of the day. And I did say last week, didn't I? I'm not really going to get moany about performances at this level of the season, at this point of the season. The result is all that matters for these next whatever games we've got. 9 games left that we've got to finish this season. So, we can do this. We can get into that top 4. And we can also win the Europa League. I do believe that. So there you go. You guys get all your comments in. Let me know who you thought was man of the match. Are you happy with a point? Do you think we'll get top 4? And there we go. Adam's review is going to be coming out very soon, so make sure you stick around for that, and then we'll have all the fan cams from outside the Etihad. Keep it locked to Full Time Devils. See you in a bit.